You're listening to Last Word Radio, where you get the last word.
Welcome to the Fourth Line Podcast, part of the Alberta Podcast Network, powered by ATV. This is March the 19th, 2018. With you today is myself, Carl, and the always wonderful Joel. Joel, we are 1 week closer to the playoffs. We're 3 weeks away, and playoff hockey is upon us.
A mere 3 weeks away?
Mere.
I wish it was like tomorrow.
That's because your team's in a playoff spot. You want to have that locked down.
No, it feels like I've been in a playoff spot, like locked down for months.
Playing in the Atlantic Division will do that to you. Yeah, for sure.
Because they've played well enough, but I don't know. I just want playoff hockey. I just don't want. This is just boring now. It's just like nobody cares about this hockey, right?
I care. My team's still in the hunt. I've got a horse in this race. Now, granted, if they stopped the regular season today, they're in. So I'd be okay with that. But
wait, you're saying something positive about your team? I'm used to you saying things negative about your team.
Well, it's a roller coaster of emotions, Joel.
Can I pull a text message back that I got from you? Can I read that on the air? Is this allowed?
Probably. I don't know which one. I send you a couple. So
March 5th is when you sent it to me.
March 5th. That was a Monday.
Does that day ring a bell for you?
That was not really.
Is that the day that the Avalanche got eliminated? Did we throw them in the Elimination Station?
Well, I'd have to check.
So, this text message came either on March 5th or February 26th. So, I can't tell if the numbers are like really small, but
the 28th was when they went and got eliminated from the old hockey show.
Why were we recording on a Wednesday?
Right, we recorded that on the Monday and released it that was a trade deadline day.
Okay, yeah. See, I see it here now. It does say February 26th. Let me just read this text for you.
Okay,
and see how you feel about it. I hate sports. Everything is the worst. Why even bother anymore? I'm going to start getting into dance. I hate the Avalanche.
That seems like it's something I would say for sure.
How has the dance gone? Or were you just playing the reverse jinx like you always do? Like,
I wouldn't say always do.
Case in point, you were winning a hockey game yesterday that you had a bet on with friend of the show, Mr. Nick Sagan. He's more than a friend.
Yeah, like family.
Family, cousin.
Yeah,
Thanksgiving Day cousin.
We have him over on the holidays.
Yeah,
and like big hockey events.
So you had a bet with Mr. Sagan. Your team was winning by like about 12 goals at the time, and then you sent out the tweet, "Oh, I don't know if this is going to happen. They may not win. They're pretty bad." Just to like solidify that that's reverse jinx, just right in there.
Mm-hmm. I stand by it. The Avalanche, I believe when I sent the tweet out, it was at the end of the second period, I believe.
And it was 12-1.
It was 3-1. And it was about the worst 3-1 lead I'd ever seen. Now, granted, they did end up winning 5-1. And so, yes, in hindsight, that message was unnecessary and possibly a little infuriating to Nick.
Oh, totally.
I might not get invited to Thanksgiving anymore.
Nick, if you're listening, I want you to know that I do not stand for Carl rubbing salt in the wound of when your team is losing, and he just tosses the reverse jinx out there. It is you.
That one was not, but that wasn't a reverse jinx. That was just me literally thinking I could think of a million ways that the Avalanche could blow this lead. And that's all I could think about at the time. I was like, they played so terrible. I can see Varlamov giving up a soft one. Then Nikita Zadorov turning the puck over in front of the net. And then it's suddenly 3-3.
I don't know. I have seen you do this so many times where you like. There is nobody I see. First of all, that plays the reverse jinx as much as you do, and second of all, as well as you do. Like, it is ridiculous. And so, we're doing something that we've never done on this show before. Cue the music rolling backwards.
What music?
I don't know. The Elimination Station. I don't know. Can we do that? Can we roll it backwards? We're pulling them out. Avalanche no longer in the Elimination Station. If we had like the opposite of the Elimination Station, we'll give them like the X. Like you're locked into the playoff spot. Avs, they're in. Don't even worry about it.
I am worried about it, Joel. They're in a playoff spot. Being in a playoff spot this year is much better than not, right? That goes without saying.
Hot takes by Carl.
Just the hottest takes coming here. So they're 2 points up on the Stars with a game in hand. The Stars have fallen apart on the back of... This is why. They tried to let Ben Bishop put them on his back, and he got hurt with the entire Dallas Stars roster on his back.
So that's a point against the Avalanche making the playoffs?
So that's... Yeah. I'm torn. Because I honestly, I'm like, I don't see how this team can do it, especially after last season. After sitting through that, and then to turn around and become a playoff team the next season. Like, I guess if the Vegas Knights can go from literally nothing to winning a division, the Avalanche can go from terrible to a playoff team. But I don't know. I'm trying. This is why I say these things, because, like, I look at the situation, and on paper it makes me really happy. Like, the reason you gave, the fact that we've got the Blues and the Flames as the other two teams that could knock them out.
Well, I have lots of things to say about the Flames.
So I look at that and I'm like, neither of those two really scare me. So in order to keep my sanity, if they do lose, that's why I reverse jinx. And it's not a reverse jinx. I genuinely think bad things are going to happen. When your team hurts you, like my team did last year, this is how I feel.
So you know how, like, you always refer to me as the always wonderful Joel?
Yeah.
I've got a new nickname for you.
Uh-oh.
Woe is me, Carl.
Okay.
Just always woe is me. Everything is meaningless. Nothing has purpose. Everything's the worst. Stupid. Sports are dumb.
Yeah, those are, as much as I do question parts of that text I sent you. Some of those are in fact direct quotes from me. That is a fact.
Actually, it doesn't matter. I'm pulling them out. They are out of the Elimination
Pull them
Station.
out.
We are doing it.
No.
They are out. They're out. It's over. They're locked into the playoffs. We're going to eliminate another team tonight. We're pulling them out. We're going to do it. And you're on board with this.
So you think they're in. You think that there's no chance that they're getting knocked out.
So they either have games in hand or equal play games with the teams under them. They're up 2 points on Dallas, who is about to ride the next 9 games with Kari Lehtinen, who, like, his name is actually Let It In. Like, that's his name.
That's a bad sign for a goalie.
The Flames, they're 6 points out with 9 games left. Like, that is a lot with 2 teams in the way. Like, if you haven't guessed this already, that's my vote. We're throwing them in the elimination station tonight. St. Louis has already said we don't want to go.
They're actively trying to not make the playoffs.
They're just like, we don't want to do this, guys. Let's not win. So it is very difficult. Dallas is the only team that probably actually even has a chance. You have to have, you need two of those teams to climb up. Not just one. You need two of those teams. It's not going to happen.
Here is the reason that I don't have great faith. The schedule. The Avalanche play 7 out of their 10 games against teams currently in a playoff spot. So it's not the easiest road. They've got 2 more games against the Knights, 2 games against the Kings, who are below them right now. They've got the Ducks, the Sharks, and the Flyers. And then Chicago twice and the Blues. That's not an easy path to guaranteed playoffs.
It's not a hard one. You're literally talking about the worst teams that aren't in the wild card, like the Sharks and the Ducks. Terrible teams. Just awful.
I wouldn't go. Are we putting them in the elimination station?
No.
Okay. Well,
no,
let's play the music forwards and talk about what the team you wanted to put in there.
Elimination Station.
All right, Joel, you very excited to put the Flames in. And I'm
yeah.
Flames are the elimination station team this week. Very, very sorry, Calgary.
I'm not sorry. Other than, yeah. So just Carl saying that because I was so excited, I just started talking over top of the music, and I don't even think that's gonna make it. I was just ready to go.
Yeah, that's probably a no.
So I think the only reason why I get excited when the Flames don't make the playoffs is because I know too many Flames.
Yep.
I know too many Flames fans, and they're kind of they spent years tormenting me as a Leafs fan. Years. They never got to the point, you know how most people got to the point where it's oh, we just feel sorry for Leafs fans? Flames never got there. They just continually rubbed it in.
All those Stanley Cups that the Flames have won clearly went to their head.
Apparently. How far away is this team from a Stanley Cup?
Oh, geez. They're pretty far. As much as you can be a team that's where they are, I don't see them getting much better at this point. And that's the problem, because so Gaudreau, Monahan are the main cogs in this team. I don't see them improving from where they are right now, which is at a good point, right? If you were to put these guys on any other roster, you'd be happy with it. So you've got Matthew Tkachuk. He'll, continue to improve a little bit, sure. But a lot of the other pieces on this team are what they are, right? Every Flames fan out there is still holding out hope for Sam Bennett to become something. Stop. You can give up that hope now. It's not happening.
Isn't Sam Reinhart nah, he's not really doing anything either.
No, don't draft Sams at the top of the draft. That's the real.
I'm surprised you aren't on. I don't know. I guess maybe this team should be better than it is. They should have one of the scariest defensive cores in the league.
For sure.
And they just don't scare me.
Well, then on paper, their defense is fantastic. In reality, you've got Travis Hamonic, who has been mediocre at best since the trade in the offseason, which, if you want to try to make your team better, maybe don't trade your first round pick and then miss the playoffs. That maybe is a good thing to do.
Yeah, that's going to hurt.
So you've got that, like Mark Giordano, sure, still good, but on the downside for sure. TJ Brody's not what he was at his peak. Dougie Hamilton's still fine. I think his hype was bigger than his ability.
He's had a really good year.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he has. But then in net, right? Like, you've got Mike Smith, who's coming up on 36 years of age. It's just not going to, like, that's not, and we've seen this season, if the guys behind him were good enough, they would be in the playoffs still. Mike Smith got hurt. Those guys were not enough to keep them in a playoff spot. So yeah, definitely. They need to figure out what they're going to do in that regard. They're going to have to figure out what to do on the front end to help this team offensively, because you can't just have Johnny Gaudreau's 80-odd points, more than a point a game. Sure, very, very good. Sean Monahan, 30 goals for him, perfect. But like outside of that, 120-goal scorer, it's not good. I guess in Kachuk, I think I mentioned ahead that he was good still.
He's okay. That Backlund deal is not feeling very great, is it? I guess he's having a down season from what he was, but I don't know. Mike Smith, like, he's fine. He's playing way above what he's actually, though. Like, that's the other thing. Like, you had a goalie, like, Mike Smith is never really, I don't know, I'd have to go look. Like, I'd imagine this is probably one of his better seasons. Probably because he didn't spend it in Arizona. So I don't know how much you actually judge that and saying like he's had a really good season, or it's just that he hasn't been in Arizona this year.
Yeah, his numbers are actually very comparable to what he's been doing in Arizona the last few seasons. It's just there's people scoring goals in front of him as well.
So
he's
just
not getting peppered with a ton of shots. So yeah. Like last year he had a .914 save percentage, this year .918, but his goals against is 0.3 goals a game different this year. So yeah, so I don't know what you do with this team. You don't, like, I still think, like, looking back, like the trade for Hamonic made sense at the time, but like now it doesn't. So I don't know how you gauge that as saying, like, yeah, you shouldn't have traded the first round pick, but like, I think we would have thought this was a playoff team going into the season, right? Oh, for sure, yeah.
And so huge miss. I don't know. I just don't know what they do. I don't know, like, how many years does Giordano have left? Can they, like, trade him to a playoff contender and try and get something for him? Or I don't know. That would be the first guy that I would try to look at, is see if you can move Giordano. Oh my goodness, you cannot move Giordano. You cannot do it. He makes way too much money.
Well, and this team's not moving their captain, right? Like,
he's going to be 40 when this thing is over.
Yeah, it's not going to be pretty.
Oh my goodness. I think I've been a fairly known Giordano hater, but like, this is bad.
It's not good. That's for sure. Yeah. And I agree. The Travis Hamonic deal still makes sense. If you were to go back and say, do you still do it? Probably. And even with knowing you don't make the playoffs, who knows? But Joel's still shocked.
No. Is it Michael Backlund? Mikael Backlund? How do you say that guy's name?
Michael Backlund.
Where's he from?
Sweden.
That guy just signed. Like,
yeah, that's a brand new deal.
He's not even playing on his new deal.
No. When you said that's an okay deal, I was like, oh, okay. I'm surprised you think that.
No, I was thinking he's down. Like, he was playing on a down season. I wasn't looking at his numbers. I was just looking at, like, his seasons. Like, he's playing on a down year. It was like 3.75, 13 goals, but he's been scoring 20 the last couple. If he can pick that back up, that's okay. No. He just signed a contract. Oh my goodness! I take everything back. I want to like. I don't like the Flames, but like, because of the players they have, I want to like them. But then it's just, I don't know. I want to support my hometown team. No, I don't know if I do.
But it's so here. The saving grace for the Flames is the fact that they have, and this could go either way, but they have a lot of flexibility coming up, right? They don't have a ton of money locked up in some of these guys. And, so Mike Smith gone after next year. So, like, after this past season, you get rid of Mike Smith, you get rid of, Troy. I assumed Troy Brouwer only had 1 year left. No, he still has 3 left.
It's so bad.
See, but a lot of, like, the fringe guys, like, the fact that this team was relying, and this is why I say, like, they're just not good. The fact they're relying on Chris Versteeg is not something you want. So I think you don't move anyone out of this team. You just try to find better role players to bring in.
They should try and sign JVR.
Yeah, I think any team should try to sign JVR. Again, with the amount that they still need to sign, I don't know if they can do that next year. Like, they have $11 million in cap space with 16 guys signed.
Yeah, they can.
Probably tough.
I don't have that much flexibility. Quickly, let's wrap this up. But quickly, yes or no to playoffs next year? If you had to say right now.
But if I look at the other teams in that division, I would say no.
Yeah, so would I.
I think the Edmonton Oilers have a better chance of making the playoffs next year than the Flames do.
Hot takes by Carl as Carl throws his support behind Connor McDavid.
Hey, someone's got to. Poor guy gets no love. All right, Joel, before we carry on, let's remind everyone about the fine folks over at ATB. They are a bank that wants you to know that they are here to listen to you. If you have needs with your business or with your personal finances, head over to atb.com/listens and you can find out over there how they can help you and let them know what you're looking for. Couple of things of note happening in the NHL. One is the GM meetings are going on right now, and there's a couple of things that are going to be on the docket. One we've talked about a lot: goaltender interference. They're still trying to sort it out. I don't think there's much point in us diving more into what you do about goal interference because it's clearly not working.
Are you? The rumors are coming out that it's going to be centralized location.
I like that. At least be consistent. If it's going to be terrible, at least be consistent. I think that's all anyone wants at this point. Is that if
consistently terrible?
Well, like either it is or it isn't interference. People just want to know. It's the fact that you never know from one time to the next.
Right.
Yeah, 100%. I want that.
Okay, so what about, have you seen some of the other things they're talking about at GM meetings?
Yeah, some of them. So we talked about playoff format. They're going to be looking at that. Do you want more playoff teams?
Have you seen the conversation about a play-in game?
Yeah, so like an extra wild card, similar to what baseball does.
Yeah, so there'd be 9 teams, 8 and 9 play one game for the 8th seed. How do you feel about that?
That's a terrible idea.
I think it's and I guess I look at it this way. In any sport, there's always the risk of injury.
Yeah.
But think about, okay, so this year it would be, so Dallas and Los Angeles play a play-in game. Dallas, it wins the game, but in process loses Jamie Benn.
Or they finally got Ben Bishop back and he's gone again.
Right. And everyone's screaming, but you could get injured in game 1 of the first series. Yeah, you can. But I don't know. I just feel like adding more, we should not be adding more games to the NHL schedule. We should be taking games away.
Well, and that's my thing. So if you're adding a playing game, that's only 2 games that's being added to the playoffs. You would probably play them on the same day, right? You'd play the East game starting at 5 o'clock Mountain Time, then the next one at 8, so everyone gets to watch both of them. Knowing the NHL, they probably start them at 5 and 6 o'clock so that you can only watch one. But I don't know. That just seems like even in baseball, I hate the idea of a playing game more so in baseball. Like the fact that it comes down to 82 games and they're like, all right, you want to keep going? You want to play 7 more? Win 1. Like it just seems it's 100% a cash grab, but it's not even a cash grab for the teams that earned it. Like if you want to give an extra game's revenue to someone, don't give it to the 8th place team in the playoffs. Give it to the team that won the President's Trophy. I don't know. There's no way to do that, but like, why are you rewarding these teams with extra games to make more money?
I'm surprised that you're against this. I would have thought that you'd be for it.
I just think like, can it be fun? I like it more in baseball because there's less teams that make the playoffs. But we already have half of the teams making it. Like, why do we need to have, once Seattle joins, have 18 out of the 32 teams make it? Like, we're not handing out participatory trophies here. Half is good enough. If you're not in the top half of the league, you don't get to play in the playoffs. That's very simple.
I wasn't sure if we would have strong opinions about the GM meetings, but apparently we do.
I didn't think we would either. I was like, yeah, we'll talk about it. Sure. Yeah, that's stupid. Playing game? Dumb. Don't do it.
Sure. I don't even remember what I was going to say now. I'm just so happy. I'm just so happy right now.
What do you think? There's other rumors about changes to power plays. Apparently people do not like the way that power plays go.
Seriously?
Yeah.
How do you feel lying right now. I feel like they've been exactly what they are for years and years and years, and why would we change it?
Right. So why... You can always make something better, so we're going to tweak the way that they are. So some people, I think what started it is that if you get a penalty in overtime, they're like, that's not as fair. Because it's like do or die, sudden death. So there's talk that you would switch to a 1-minute power play in overtime. There's also talk that what they've labeled as non-aggressive penalties, so like puck over glass or delay a game or a face-off violation, also only a minute. So what do you think about these? Like, so we've got like minors, double minors, and now half minors.
You know what they can do with face-off violations?
Maybe just get rid of them.
Just don't do it.
Yeah.
I can tell them where to take them. If you don't want to be penalized in overtime, don't cheat.
Are you sure? Like you should maybe just don't take a penalty?
Yeah. Just don't cheat. If you don't cheat, you won't get a penalty.
That sounds harder than you think.
I can't believe that this is like the... Like, who's saying that? It's like probably like the worst penalized team in the league. They're like, it's like Alex Burrows and Brad Marchand are like, guys,
this isn't fair.
This is not fair. When we slash someone, we shouldn't have to get a penalty.
Yeah,
that's a non-aggressive penalty, guys.
Yeah. It was behind the play. It wasn't even part of the play. I just slew foot him 40 feet down the ice.
Yeah. This is ridiculous. I haven't seen that. I can't believe that's a thing. I'm so against it.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Because here's the thing. So they've got on that angle. The NHL, in my mind, is doing whatever they can to increase scoring, right? Like they want people to score goals. That's why they have the face-off violations. So that you don't cheat, they can create more penalties and have it. So I don't get it from that regard. But the other proposed change to power plays is a goal creator. And what that would be is that no matter what happens, every face-off while on a power play would happen in the offensive zone.
Just because?
Yeah, so...
Like, what if the offense ices the puck?
Offensive zone. That's the thing. The other team clears the puck. You want to save time? Goalie covers it now, instead of bringing it back up the ice.
Oh, that's dumb. You can't do that. That is the dumbest thing I've heard.
So that's worse than 1-minute power plays in overtime.
Wait, this is not actually a thing, is it?
I wouldn't just make these up. I am not that creative, Joel.
Holy.
What this would also do, and the example that they used on Sportsnet would be, let's say you're on a 5-on-3 power play, you score, face off in the offensive zone. So instead of going to center ice, you're still on the power play, face off in the offensive.
No, that's never going to happen. That's never going to happen. Interesting.
I think there's so many ways that changes things, right? Like, icing the puck when you're there doesn't really matter. The goalie cover, like, it changes a significant amount of how you would run a power play.
Just having trouble getting into the zone, just fire the puck into the bench.
Right.
Shoot it to your goalie.
Yeah, it's not a penalty if you put the puck over glass in the offensive zone.
Yeah. So, side note, I wanted to know, how many penalty minutes does Brad Marchand have? Because I was like, he probably doesn't actually have as many penalty minutes as I think he does. Out of 850 players who have played this year, where does Brad Marchand rank in penalty minutes?
37.
Okay. 55th.
Okay.
With 55 penalty minutes. I don't know how that worked out, but it did.
Yeah.
I was actually surprised by that.
You thought it would be a little higher in the ranks?
I thought he'd be lower. Like I thought he'd have less penalty minutes. Like I thought 55 penalty minutes would have put him like in the hundreds or something like that. But apparently that's actually quite a few penalty minutes.
Yeah, there's a lot, because you have to think of like the fighters, right? So like Michael Haley in Florida is running away with it. Then you've got to think of some goons who have gotten some game misconducts, and he usually doesn't act like his last suspension. I don't even think that was a penalty. No, was it? The one on Johansson, the guy from New Jersey. I can't remember if that was a penalty or not. I'm gonna go with no. So yeah, there's Mr. Brad Marchand. So if you could pick one of, the other thing that they're doing, really, this one affects your team the most, Joel. The
goaltender interference one doesn't affect me the most?
No, changes to long-term injured reserve. Robidas Island could be gone.
That's not going to go away. Don't worry about that. They're still mad about that from earlier in the season with Lupul and Hossa. And then apparently it came back up because of Soshnikov.
That's because it should have come up because of Soshnikov.
No, apparently
that was blatant.
No, apparently that all teams do that. I was reading an article about that where like that happens way more than you think. It's just because the Leafs try and circumvent cap all the time. It was noticed that time.
Yeah, and there is a big magnifying glass on the Leafs for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm all for teams that have lots of money being able to circumvent the cap.
Yeah, there's all the big money teams. You can either spend all your money on hiring Mike Babcock or circumvent the cap.
Players' union is going to be totally against any changes there because like they're just happy guys are getting paid and not getting bought out.
Do you think that they would? Because like I know there was a point, and I know he's kind of resigned himself to the fact that he's not going to play hockey again, but there was a point that Joffrey Lupul was very upset about this.
Yeah, the players' union wasn't even on Lupul's side. They were like, come on, Joffrey. Come on.
Yeah.
You want to play? You can play next year. Come on. Come on, Joffrey.
It does boost it, because even like if you have one guy on long-term IR, that's one extra contract per team, right?
Yeah. And the Leafs usually have like 3 or 4. It's great.
Yeah. Weird how that happens. To be fair, you literally traded for one knowing that he would be there, though. That one's legit. Nathan Horton. No one's calling that into question.
Right. And the crazy thing is that David Karlsson has the same thing.
Yeah.
It's Nathan Horton. Dude, what are the chances? Because like Karlsson was like playing bad when that happened, but he didn't have that like degenerative back issues.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, we both have the same thing. I was like, that's crazy.
Oh, for sure.
Anyways, I don't know. Is that it? Those are the big topics. I don't even going to get to the IR stuff. They didn't get to them in the fall. Not going to get to it now.
No, I don't think there's a lot of things that they're going to get around to. We've talked on this show about my love of Nathan MacKinnon. And he is, we talked last week about the Hart Trophy race and some of the favorites there. He's 4 points back of Nikita Kucherov, sitting with 38 goals, tied for 5th in the league with Tyler Seguin, and shockingly, Eric Stahl is also sitting.
Eric Stahl has 38 goals?
38 goals, yes.
What? That's crazy.
So the 4 players in front of him, Patrick Laine, Alexander Ovechkin, tied for the lead. Not much surprise there. Evgeny Malkin, 3rd with 40. Not much surprise there. The big surprise, other than obviously Eric Stahl at number 5, William Karlsson and I know he's been up and down during the season. 39 goals for the Vegas Golden Knights. Joel, how sad is Columbus as a fringe playoff team that they let this guy go?
They have to be crazy sad that they're like, why didn't you do this for us, William? Like,
come on, Willie.
It's crazy. Like, it's bizarre how well he's doing. So now he has a crazy shot percentage, as do most guys at the top of, like, most of the guys that are near the top of the league and scoring generally have a higher shot percentage.
Right. And that's typically because they're skilled shooters, right? Like, if you were to put a 4th line scrub versus Patrick Laine should have a higher shooting percentage. It's not like everyone should have a statistical average, but his should be higher.
He's pushing to 25%. He's not quite there yet, but he's getting there. That's crazy.
So as a point of reference, that is currently the highest in the league. Patrick Laine this year sitting at 20%. Alexander Ovechkin has never cracked 15% shooting.
But he's a notorious tons of shots guy. He always leads the lead in shots.
Yeah.
So there are some weird names at the top of this list. Anders Lee. Like, Eric Stahl is kind of weird, but like he's at least done it before. Like,
right.
He scored this many before. But like, yeah, you just in your top 10, you have the 3 strangest ones: Stahl, Anders Lee, and William Karlsson. It's just so bizarre. I don't get it. I think we're all fully aware that Karlsson's going to be not this good next year, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And if you look at, on the flip side, so the shooting percentage numbers, 23.8 for William Karlsson. Next, a whole 3.6% back in second place is Mark Scheifele. And like, this list is filled with skilled players, right? You've got Scheifele, Marchand, if I regret saying that. But Laine, Malkin, we'll put Stahl on there. Austin Matthews is clocking in at 13th. And then it goes downhill very quickly from there. So there's a lot of times where we have to look at, do we think that they are that skilled? And a lot of these guys, like, with all due respect to Yanni Gourde, he's not going to come 5th in shooting percentage next year.
All due respect, really? Like, was that necessary? Does even he think he's going to be 5th in shooting percentage next year?
I gave him all respect that was due to him. He should be thankful.
I don't know. Is that all that happened? I don't know what else happened.
Yeah. We put out a question to our listeners last week. Do you want to hear some of their replies?
Yeah, this was like the hated player on the team you like, right?
Yeah. And so let's hit a few of them. Matt Cook.
Oh, I can see that one. Yeah. You cannot like Matt Cook. Is he still playing?
No, he's made the rounds and is finally gone. So,
okay.
I was just looking it up to confirm. I searched Matt Cookie instead. Turns out the purple duck baking will make you a Matt Cookie. However, Matthew Cook, the hockey player, is currently a member of no one. He retired 2 seasons ago.
Where have we been?
Doing the exact same thing as Matt Cook.
So what team was that? Like, did they just say Matt Cook?
That was from a Minnesota Wild fan. So,
okay.
And I personally hated him extra as a member of the Wild because he was the one who knee-on-knee Tyson Barrie in the playoffs.
Right. Okay, so what was one of the next ones?
Another one we've got is, as it loads, current Washington Capitals fan coming in. If we're basing it just on contract,
wait, Tom Wilson.
That is correct. Yeah,
that guy's the worst.
The hardest to defend is Tom Wilson, and I can confirm during my seasons as a Washington Capital bandwagon fan, it became incredibly difficult to defend the actions of Tom Wilson. To the point where I just stopped. I'm like, this is my bandwagon team. I don't need to defend him at all. So I just didn't.
Tom Wilson. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no love for Tom Wilson here.
Another good one. And this, again, easy. This is from an Oilers fan. Raffi Torres.
Oh, yeah. When you said Oilers, I was gonna think Milan Lucic, but yeah, that's fine too. I'm good with it.
Yeah, that's a little harder to defend.
Raffi Torres, yeah, nobody wants that guy.
No, and there was actually a surprisingly large number of people who say that no matter what, if they're wearing their team's jersey, they support them, which is crazy.
That's seriously okay. I'm gonna tug on some heartstrings here, Carl.
Okay, I'm ready.
Let
me get my tissue.
Nobody's defending Bertuzzi. Nobody was defending Marty McSorley. Like, come on. No matter what? I don't think so. I appreciate fandom, but there's no way. Like, if and I guess like star players aren't going to do. Well, I guess Bertuzzi would have been considered a fairly star player at the time, right?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
But like, how quickly he fell from grace, even in Vancouver.
Yeah, that did not end well for him.
So, which then he was traded for a guy that also fell from grace in Vancouver.
Was he in the Luongo deal?
Yeah, he was traded for Luongo. Anyways, interesting. I'm surprised that there was actually people that were like, yeah, no matter what, I love everyone on my team. No, let me tell you, Roman Polak will never be on my I like you team.
No. I feel like you're pretty good. If Roman Polak is that guy for you, though, you're doing pretty well for yourself.
Well, he's that guy right now.
Yeah.
Mind you, I love Ty Domi, so...
Right. Well, that's the thing. Like, Ty Domi didn't really do anything. Like, he was aggressive. He fought a lot. But like, he was not a dirty player.
I was just going to say, I was like, I don't remember if Ty Domi was dirty. You know who was dirty? Darcy Tucker. Super dirty.
That's a fact.
We both had the pleasure of him on our teams.
Yeah, it was quite an experience. The Darcy Tucker thing. It was fun.
30 seconds he was on the Avalanche.
Yeah, I usually forget that he was even on the team. For sure, that would be the way that I feel as well. There are players that you should not feel the need to defend or even like celebrate. Joel, two last things of note for us. One, fantasy hockey playoffs. We're in the finals.
In the finals this year, we have the Woe Is Me Karls, and I don't know who else.
Yeah.
All I know is that it's Karl, and he complained about it the whole way.
I'm in the finals up against Kristen Meyer, And so good luck to her. However, I really hope I win.
I got a text message from Carl on day one of our playoff matchup. Congrats on the win. I'm going to lose. I'm only up 6-1 right now, but I'm going to lose because congrats on the win, guys. Way to go.
No, I was
whiny.
I was upset because I set my lineup and then somehow 3 of my players got removed from it.
And then you told us to bench our players.
I didn't say that. You said, actually, it wasn't you. I will give full credit here to Tiny Mike. He was like, "Oh, like if this is why we win, I wish that wasn't the case." And I said, "Well, you could bench players as well tonight." Shockingly, that didn't happen.
Not shockingly, I was not benching players.
Yeah.
I would have felt no remorse for winning that way, especially after you toss the winning reverse jinx out there again. You conceded. You literally conceded. We should have actually taken that concession and been like, okay, fine. We go forward. Doesn't matter what the stats say. Not another case of the reverse jinx.
Well,
ridiculous.
If it helps, Joel, we are mere hour and a half into this week's matchup. I don't have a single goal or assist. So
wow, that's terrible. So, because I also should we also point out how last week you're right away you're like, oh, I'm playing the top guy in the league. Vasilevsky is amazing. I'm just happy to be here.
To be fair though, I felt after that first day that was my matchup to lose, and I knew it.
Yeah,
Vasilevsky gave up 4 goals in that first night.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I was following goalie matchups very closely. Luckily for me, Kristen made it because there was a game. She has Mike Smith and Cam Talbot, and there was that 1-0 Flames Oilers game last week, so that buoyed her. Pretty sure Mike Smith and Cam Talbot are not going to average a 0.5 goals against this week. So
Mike Smith is playing the Coyotes tonight, which does not go well for you.
Well, we'll see. I'm my goalie in Pekka Rinne is playing the Sabres, so 6-1.
That's fair enough. Fair enough.
All right. High sticking. This is the last week of this round, and then we've got one short round to push us through to the playoffs. Then we'll do a round for that 1-game playoff thing that people do. That's not a thing. Let's hope it's not. The top 4, there's a slew of folks tied for 5th, but top 4 are KG, Daniel Rice, Jacob from PTP, the Panthers blog, and Logan Rendulic. Last week's number 1 is in a tie for 3rd now, 3 points back. So he's certainly still within reach, as are most people. With these short rounds, if you've been playing, you've still got a shot. So the way it works, we pick our must-watch games of the week, then you watch them, and you pick who you think is going to score the game-winning goal each and every night. Play it on the Twitters. If you want to, right now, you can write down your answers, email them to us, DM them to us, just tweet them out like Matt from Reasons Are Several. He tells everyone who he's picking. He doesn't care. Let us know who you pick every game. We'll give you points. If you pick the game-winning goal scorer, you get 3 points. First assist, 2 points. Second assist, 1 point. 1 player from each team. Joel, I hear a rumor that there's a game for tomorrow night that is a must-watch game.
Yeah, Jersey at San Jose.
San Jose and New Jersey is the game of the night. I was going to go with a game, since you wouldn't let me break the rules last week. We'll go with the other good team in the Atlantic playing Tampa. Toronto, Tampa.
I'm not doing that. I'm not choosing that. No.
Why?
Because I don't want to watch Tampa beat up on the Leafs.
Anderson's
not playing.
Yeah.
Zaitsev's
you mean the
not
goalie
playing.
who just won 3rd star of the week is playing? Come on.
No. I'm going to start boycotting this game. You choose games, you'll break the rules when you want to. You don't let me choose. I don't want the Toronto. You won't let me play the reverse jinx, but you'll gladly play it. No. If you want to choose it, you go ahead. But if that's the game, I'm ignoring it. There is no game on Tuesday night.
Rule number 1 of the reverse jinx is you don't call it a reverse jinx.
Well, you wouldn't even let me. So I acknowledge nothing. Those points don't count.
Okay, well, since Joel's the scorekeeper for high sticking, which game that's not Toronto and Tampa are you picking? Since apparently you hate to watch Tampa.
I was going to go Jersey, San Jose. What was there? That's 2 playoff teams. Or do you want to choose? We had a complaint about not picking Edmonton. You want to go Edmonton, Carolina?
Nope. The only other one that,
you can go Toronto, Tampa if you want, but I'm unhappy about it.
Okay, that's fine. I've been getting the business from you all episodes, so that's a fair trade.
About what?
My reverse jinxes.
You benefit from those.
Not intentionally. All right, there are 4 games on Wednesday night. To me, Anaheim Calgary is the only one that is even, because there's Boston St. Louis, Montreal Pittsburgh, and Arizona Buffalo.
Yeah, I wouldn't bother. If we're not going to pick a game on a night, let's choose this night.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, go spend time with your family and friends on Wednesday, folks. Vegas, San Jose, or what are your thoughts on Thursday?
Doesn't matter.
Joel's checked out.
I'm done. I'm upset about this. Sure, go Vegas, San Jose.
All right. The 23rd, which is Friday. We've got New Jersey, Pittsburgh, or Anaheim, Winnipeg. Which one do you want?
Anaheim.
There you go. Double dip in Anaheim this week, which is when you play on a terrible night like that. Saturday, lots of games. Anyone tickle your fancy?
Minnesota, Nashville.
Minnesota, Nashville. There you go. Minnesota playing tonight's high sticking game, which is just about to start. I'll be turning that on while we wrap up the show. And the last night of the week, another good Nashville game. Nashville, Winnipeg rematch from previously this recent time. I was going to say this weekend, but that was not this weekend they played. They played on the high stickings recently. Do you want the two that stand out to me? Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Nashville, Winnipeg.
Is Philly are they still in a playoff spot?
Yeah, they're in there.
Are they? They're not even in a wild card, are they?
No, they're right there, third in the Central.
Yeah, you can go that team. That's sure. That's like
that's a Wednesday night rivalry game if I've ever seen one on a Sunday night.
It is on NBC. It's not even on. Well, that's like an afternoon game. That's like that's the NBC
10:30 a.m. So
that's like an outdoor game, right? Probably.
It's probably not far off. There you go. So those are the last round of Pavel Bure's for this month, or for this session of High Sticking. Head over to Twitter at Fourth Line Podcast, where you can hear all or play along, and you can see what's going on there. Joel, any last things that you wanted to touch on today?
Nope.
All right. Joel.
Was there something I was supposed to?
No, I just wanted to give you the opportunity to, I don't know, have a last word on something.
No. What podcast are we listening to from ATV?
Well, Joel, the one that I am listening to is called A Branded World with Luisa Campos. And what this is in the show, Luisa offers step-by-step guides and easy-to-implement advice on how to build meaningful brands that captivate audiences. So we've been listening to it for tips on how to captivate our audience. Some of those tips include making your co-host really angry right at the end of the show. That's a number one. That's actually episode number 1, 7, and 14 of her shows deal with that. So she says that anger sells. Oh. Yeah.
We get angry a lot.
Yeah, we're doing it right, probably.
I don't know.
So that's not actual advice from her, but she has a lot of great guests. So you can look at head over to their page, marcastrategy.com. You can find their show over there. Joel, you can find our show. Obviously, you know where to find the show. You can find us on Twitter at Fourth Line Podcast, Facebook.com/The Fourth Line Podcast, thefourthlinepodcast.com. If you are looking to find us on a place, leave us a review. We'd appreciate to know how you feel about us, especially if they're nice things.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Or like indifferent things.
You were like, yeah, I don't really care for their takes on meat, but their hockey opinions are great. Or the other way around, like, come for the hockey, stay for the barbecue. It's getting to be warm again outside, Joel. Barbecue season's coming.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm so tired of all the snow.
Yeah, it'll be nice. All right. For the always wonderful Joel, I am... What's my nickname?
Woe is me, Carl.
For the always wonderful Joel, I am Woe is me, Carl. We will be back next week with another Fourth Line Podcast.
Boom City.